The Vatican was literally life-changing. I never expected to have, like, such an emotional,
response,
spiritual, and just life-changing experience as when we walked into St. Peter's Basilica.
As someone who was super nervous about leaving the country, as someone who was dreading the flight and really not sure what to expect, like, honestly, I have to encourage you guys, if you don't go to Rome, like, pick somewhere, make a plan, save the money, and freaking go.
Yeah.
You will not regret it.
Welcome to the Elite Life Podcast with your hosts, Trisha and Kylee. Here, we guide you on a journey of personal and professional transformation, revealing the secrets to success. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, join us as we unlock the doors to the elite world of growth, grit, and grace. So, let's dive in.
Welcome, friends, to another episode of the Elite Life Podcast. We are so excited you're here today. My name's Trish.
I'm Kylee.
And we're going to talk about Rome. We are going to share all of the places and spaces that we explored, that we ate at, that we had fun at, that we suggest you don't do, you do.
There was one don't do. Don't get on the boat.
It's on my list too. Do not get on the boat.
So whether you want to plan a trip for you, your friends, your family, or if you just want to come along with us, we've got Trisha's phone out here so that I can kind of connect some photos to what we're talking about. So let's jump in.
I have 689 photos and videos from Rome. So if you're wondering, take the photos and take the videos. I took them all. And I still very much was present and enjoyed every single place. But there was just so much.
As I was saying, our eyeballs were drunk, y'all.
Yeah,
our eyeballs
so
were
much
wasted. I'm talking like 4 Loko drunk.
So the first thing we seen was the Pantheon, because that was right next to our Airbnb, literally outside the door. So the Pantheon, I will say, is so I thought the 2 busiest places were the Pantheon and Traverse Sea Fountain.
Oh yeah. Trevi Fountain super busy.
Was incredibly busy. And in my opinion, I didn't see the big deal about it. Because there were so many fountains in Rome.
But that was the biggest, most beautiful one.
Yeah, but for the amount of people and, like, how, like, trying to navigate around it even just to get a picture.
We barely got close.
I think you get spoiled by, like, how easy it is to get into everything else and move around everything else.
It's because everybody was at Trevi Fountain.
It's because everybody was at Trevi Fountain in the Pantheon. So, with the Pantheon, we only looked from outside. If you want to go inside, you have to book a time to do that.
Yeah, and there were a lot of steps to do that. I would highly suggest you, like, go online before you even go and figure out what to do there. Because what we did do was we kind of, like, hung around. And once they opened the doors to let the tours in, we were able to kind of, like, peek from back here. We felt satisfied. If it is something that is, like, in your soul, like, you must absolutely see it, definitely plan and make sure that you have plans for that. And the Vatican. So we're not to the Vatican yet. We're still on day 1. Pantheon. Day 1. We saw the Pantheon.
After that, we went and got food at...
Wait, hold on. Because we got off the plane at 9:30 in the morning. We got to our Airbnb. We unpacked. We explored the Airbnb. Yeah. We each took a cold shower, and then we each blacked out until like 2:30 in the afternoon.
It's okay to take a nap after travel. I did put that in my notes. Do sleep so that you enjoy your time there.
We both needed that so bad.
And it was hard because in my mind I'm going,
I'm missing out.
You're in Rome. You need to be, like, doing stuff. But I needed that hour and a half to 2 hours to just, like, feel good and go out and explore. And it was fine.
And that's what we did.
The other thing about Rome is it is incredibly clean and safe. So, like, we were kind of stressy about not wanting to be out after dark because we didn't know what it was like. It was fine. Like, there's polizia everywhere. They're, like, on all of the
Literally
street
everywhere.
corners. It's incredibly safe.
And also, that was one thing that floored me. Like, when we were walking home from dinner that one night, it was like, we closed it down. It was like 11:30.
Mm-hmm.
And people had their babies out in their strollers.
Yeah.
They were children of school age, like, out and about. And it was such a really amazing thing because we're from Detroit.
We're from Detroit.
And so that don't happen in Detroit unless you're up to something. As Grandma says, nothing good happens after 10 p.m. So.
Yeah. So after we took
Unless
our
you're in
nap,
Rome. Ha!
we thought the first day we were like, all right, let's just go walking and explore.
Let's get the lay of the land.
Yeah.
So day number 1, lay of the land. Highly recommend that. If you're in a situation like this where you're in Paris or whatever, definitely spend a day just getting your bearings.
Yeah, so we went to the biggest building that you kind of keep passing, which is the
Vittoriano.
Vittoriano.
And that is this huge monument.
It
has
is
some notes.
humongous.
It is a huge
It looks
monument.
like a gigantic, like, government building
Yeah.
/ castle. Like, it has tons of statues all over. It's literally, like, in the middle of everything. We passed it every single day.
We did. And that was the one thing that I really enjoyed about our first day there was, like, we were just walking around and we were learning, like, you just stumble upon shit. Like, that's just the life you live when you're in Rome.
Yeah.
So this building here, it was a monument to Victor Emmanuel II, and it's also called Altar of the Fatherland, and they started building it in 1885.
Yeah, and the cool thing was, this is what I really loved about Rome. You didn't have to pay to go in everything. Like, we just walked there, we walked up the stairs, we walked in and seen the art, we walked around and seen the statues, we walked up to the top and we got to see the view. There was a little cafe
there.
There
were little spots of the museum where you did have to pay to go in.
Yeah.
But, like, we peeked in the door and we were like, I'm satisfied with that.
But you've seen so much for free. Like, there's statues everywhere. There's art everywhere. Like,
literally everywhere. Like, we were just walking and we looked up, we were in an alley and I was like, oh, look at that. Beautiful, gorgeous frescoes. Just stunning.
Yeah, so when you go to that space, there's tons you can see and do without having to spend money. And then if you do spend money, it's usually like $3, $5. Like, it's nothing that's like crazy or outlandish.
I think the most we paid was, because, like, to get in the Vatican, all of that was included in the tour. So I think outside of that, I think we each paid, like, what was it, like $15 or $20 to get into the crypt?
I don't remember how much it was to get
I don't remember
in the
either.
crypt.
I was like, we're going.
But
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, so the first day we went to the Victor Emmanuel. Go on the top. They have coffee up there. They have fruit slushies up there.
We sat down and we just
nice.
enjoyed the breeze and the view, and it was absolutely stunning.
And you can see everything from there. So you can see the Colosseum. You can, like Kylie said, get a lay of the land up there.
Yep.
So I really like that for day 1. And
what else did we do on day 1? Oh, we went into
Minerva.
Yes.
So the Chapel of Minerva. This was a totally random find.
It's called the Basilica of St. Mary of Minerva.
There you go. It's beautiful inside.
All of them are.
Walk in, and I will say too, there's some different signs about staying in the back. You don't have to stay in the back. We walked all the way up to the front.
We walk in, and there are signs that say no photos, no videos, don't go past this point, but everybody else was going, so we went too.
So you're saying we weren't supposed to?
It's fine.
We may or may not have broke the rules.
It was fine.
It was fine.
We took all the pictures. We saw Mary of Minerva. Her dead body is there.
It was beautiful. So we walked through there. The cool thing about these basilicas too is they're huge. So it's not like when you walk in, even like around here would be like a Catholic church is usually really pretty. And it'll have like a front.
Like if
and
you
a
go down to
space,
Detroit,
right?
like the really
downtown
old
Detroit.
ones.
That's what I'm thinking of in my mind. You take that and you multiply it by like 50 billion. Yeah.
50 billion.
50 billion. That is the basic basilica in Rome. So
that's just your average church, y'all.
Yeah. So we walked through there. We came out. There was a guy outside. He's playing music. Then we walked.
That was
back
the
down
thing.
to the
Almost all
Pantheon.
the music we heard was American
It
music.
was American music, yeah.
Or like
yeah.
English music. English music, we'll say. Yeah, that guy wasn't getting any of our change. He was awful.
Yeah. So we just kind of checked everything out that first day, got back to the Airbnb. Like I said, we took a nap, we got some food, and then the next morning we woke up early and we went and got breakfast at the cafe.
Oh, can we talk about bacon?
Food portions are large, guys. If you get a croissant, I want you to be ready that it's like the size of your face. I was so hungry that morning, and I'm like, I want a croissant, I want eggs, I want bacon.
Yep. I was like, me too.
Yeah, we got like a ridiculous amount of food, and we didn't eat, and the bacon was amazing. It wasn't like U.S. bacon.
It was like prosciutto.
Yeah,
like
it was
delicious.
delicious.
Was astounding. It was so good.
And the coffee was like next level. We got like these cappuccinos.
They were okay, so they were iced cappuccinos. So I don't know where I missed the memo, but I'm like, why do I feel like I could do this at home? Because it's freaking coffee, milk, and sugar, y'all.
Yeah, coffee, milk, and sugar. And I didn't get the sugar in mine. I just got coffee and milk, and it was still delicious.
No, it wasn't. She's lying.
It was.
No, it wasn't.
It was fantastic.
No,
I got it 3 days, so obviously I liked it. You don't tell me what I like.
You don't tell me.
After our delicious breakfast, we went to, that's when we went to Trevi Fountain.
We went to Trevi Fountain. And it is such a beautiful, and I guess this is one thing I do not mind about, like, that situation, like we were talking about. It was super crowded, but, like, I love, like, it's the same thing I love about going to hockey games, going to football games. I love that we have all of these people from literally different countries, different walks of life. We saw people from Asia, people from everywhere, and we're all here and we're all excited about the same thing. It was so cool.
Yeah, it was. And I'm like looking at the photos and I'm like trying to remember. I think it was just the amount of people, because it was
The
like
amount
it was
of people,
hard
and I
to
think they were all on
navigate
my
through.
phone too.
Yeah, and we were like kind of like pulling each. But if you've ever been to a concert, that's kind of like what Trevi Fountain is.
That's what it was like. Also, that was the day we woke up at 11:30, so I feel like had we gotten there a little earlier.
Yeah, all of the, so when I went through and was doing research, it was that everything said, like, make sure you go to that early, and we didn't follow those rules.
No, because you know what? We weren't responsible for work. We didn't have children. We literally had nothing. So we slept, and that was fine. So after that, we navigated over to the Capuchin Crypt.
Yes,
This was
my
on
go-to.
her list because she's in this very macabre season of life.
No, I just thought it would be really cool.
Everything
I've seen
is
it.
dead and dying.
I'm done inside. My friend Angie, who I went to high school with, Angie Zell, shout out, she is a Delta stewardess. And so I get the extreme opportunity of seeing all of her journeys, and she went to the Capuchin Crypt, and I messaged her, I'm like, what is that? I'm going in a week. I want to check that out. And it was just cool. It was art made out of bones, which sounds creepy. Stay with us. It was moving.
It really was. So when you come in, they have this beautiful museum where they have captured the art, the artifacts, the lives of these friars and these monks and these priests who were of this Capuchin order.
So the cool thing is, though, first
cover your shoulders.
Everywhere you go. So anytime you're going into a basilica, chapel, or crypt, you are supposed to have your shoulders covered. So I had to get like some little like over thing because I had a dress on. And then before we went in the crypt, we got a guided tour, an audio tour that told us all about the history of the Capuchin monastery and how the crypts came to be and the different popes and the different monks and the different things that were going on. So that was very cool. Because if you're like, I'm not just showing up to see some bones, that's super creepy. What is that all about?
Well,
you get the history
on
first.
top of that, you get all of that. Like, it builds up to the crypt because I feel like if they don't walk you through there, you don't have the same appreciation of everything that you see in the crypt itself. And I thought the crypts were going to be more like catacomby, like the one we saw when we went to go see the Spanish Steps. I thought it was going to be more catacomby, but it wasn't. Like,
it wasn't dark and dingy.
No.
And you felt like it was a very religious experience.
It was.
Or
it was very humbling.
Spiritual. Let's not say religious. It was a very spiritual experience.
Because there were people that I'm pretty sure were not Catholic.
Yeah.
Hi. But no, like people from literally all walks of life were coming through here and standing and looking at this situation, this art. And there are a couple different stories on exactly how that all came to be.
Yeah.
My favorite one was, so there are over 3,000 bodies in this crypt.
Yeah.
They have things, I think one of the stories was they were down there fleeing persecution, just staying out of sight. And so
it was
they
the
were
reign
down
of
there.
terror.
Yeah. And so they had nothing to do.
Yeah, and they were like, were they kind of going crazy? Maybe. But look how beautiful it turned out. I think it could have been a combination of things because it's also like they were able to control and make art while they were in there, like with no other things to be able to do.
But it probably gave order to the entire situation as well.
It's beautiful.
It was.
If you're listening on just like Google or Apple Podcasts, go and watch our YouTube because Kylie's going to split in some photos of the Capuchin Crypt so you can see what we're talking about. It's really, really cool. So after the Capuchin Crypt,
I stuck my foot in a fountain when nobody was looking.
Her foot.
Listen, y'all.
In a fountain.
It was hot, okay? I don't know how many times I could tell you it was hot. Your girl was schwitzing, okay? Yeah. And so we come out, we're on a corner, and it wasn't like this big, it wasn't like a big fountain. Like these fountains are tucked in every little nook and cranny. Oh, that's the other thing I want to mention before we forget. Keep your water bottles because there are little fountains all over the city that have good fresh water. Mm-hmm. You can splash on your face, you can drink it, whatever you do. But this was just like a regular fountain. It wasn't one of those. So we come out and I'm hot, it's hot. And when I need to cool off, I would just stand in a bucket of cold water and that will cool my body off. Science. And so... So she has a picture of me and she sends it to my mom and she's like, I can't take her anywhere.
It was so funny. After the foot in the fountain, we got quick waters and then we went over to...
Oh, no we didn't. We got quick waters and we learned that there are no seats on a lot of the public toilets, FYI.
That is true.
They give you napkins to wipe yourself with and then put in the trash. They do not want you sitting down. Also, American food is trash. That's all I have to say.
Yes, and that really made the waitress laugh a lot when she said all American food is trash.
I'm like, this is trash. American food is trash, except for their potato chips. Their potato chips are lacking. They could use some trans fats and some freaking salt on those bad boys. But
a little hydrogenated oil.
Yeah, otherwise...
So then we went over to the Coliseum. And I will, right here... This is one of the places where we kind of messed up. I wish we would have made a reservation for the Coliseum.
It wasn't that bad.
Because we didn't get to go on the main floor, and I felt like if we would have got to go on the main...
We did get down on the main floor.
Not the main floor.
Yes, we did.
No, we didn't.
Yes, ma'am, we did.
No, where they were doing the private tours? No. Where they were going in where they held the prisoners?
That we didn't get to do.
We did not get to go in where they held the prisoners, and I feel like we missed out on something there.
We saw
If you want to see everything in the Coliseum, go on the bottom floor. But yes, God
also
was
keep
probably,
your ID out.
Yeah, God was probably looking out because that day we walked everything. Okay, so after walking Capuchin Crypt, after walking all of Rome to get over the Coliseum, after walking all the floors of the Coliseum, you go to Palatine Hill. So we got the Palatine Hill.
Walking.
There's so much walking, but that was one of my favorite places. There was
you
so much to
forgot
see.
one of the most pinnacle moments we had at the Coliseum.
The fight?
So check this out. So we are on the top level of the Coliseum, and we are just wrapping up. We just came out of the gift shop, and we hear this screaming. And so we look over the side into the streets area, like where you come in, and there are plainclothes officers scrapping with some hooker, fighting over us. There's two chicks, and they're scrapping with the plainclothes officer over a cell phone, and he's doing his very bestest not to put hands on these ladies, and they were lit, yo. And so Then we look over and there's like...
It was the only drama we've seen in all of Rome.
I think
honestly, with like bajillions of people in one city, I felt like they did such a good job of keeping it clean, keeping it orderly, and obviously these two women were just...
I don't know what happened, but like this dude is on the ground.
Screaming.
We heard screaming and yelling, so we're looking over. They've got this dude on the ground. He's getting arrested. This other lady's crying.
It felt like home.
It felt like home.
Yeah. Then we went to Palatine Hill.
Which did not feel like home.
No, but there is a ton to see. A ton. So like, make sure you're ready to walk. I feel like that maybe could be like a day by itself, like the Colosseum in Palatine Hill, because there's all these temples to go in. There's all these monuments to see. There's all of these tunnels. Like, remember the tunnel where they like have the frescoes on the side of like what it used to be painted like, what it would have looked like.
Yeah, we were in someone's basement.
There was like everywhere you turned, you could turn a different way and go into more stuff. Like, we didn't even see everything. Like, there was gardens. There was it's like events inside of events. Yeah. Like, we went in that one temple in the Palatine Hill. We went in 2 temples.
Oh no, they used to be the aviaries.
Yeah,
they were the family's aviaries. So this super rich family came and they took over this space and they made it into these beautiful gardens, and then there were these 2 aviaries that they had turned into little like tiny mini museums.
Yeah, but that's not even what I was talking about. When we came back down and then we were going through and there was all the ruins and there was that stage I wanted to go see, and then we found another like
that
actual
was the temple of Rome.
Was it?
That's what it said.
Maybe it was.
Faustina's place.
Yes, Faustina's temple.
So, yeah.
Yes. That's what I was thinking of, the temple of Faustina's temple.
And
she was like,
people she was like, that's my girl! That's my girl!
I wrote a paper about the women of Rome because, you know, I won't get into the history, but in the Roman world, women were more of like, seen and not heard, a lot of people think.
Unless you were a prostitute.
Then you got to hear everything. But I wrote a whole paper about how women actually were like running it. They were running the place. If you want to read the paper, just DM me. I'll send it to you. But Faustina was one of the ones that I remembered specifically because I called them the Kardashians of Rome, because all the girls wanted their hair done like Faustina, and she was like a movie star of Rome, and people wanted to, like, the younger girls wanted to be like her, and they had dolls of her.
Oh.
And they would get their hair done like her. And it was like a whole ordeal. Like, it was like all day to get this like specific hair done. So
love it.
Anyways, there's tons and like that's a whole day you can
That
explore.
is a whole day.
We put 2 days into that day, and then we went home, took showers, and then we went out to eat the most amazing carbonara in the world.
Okay, so Erin, our friend, told us to go to Tavern Agape.
Tavern Agape. I have a photo.
Oh my gosh. It was the cutest little place. We sat outside. There's this beautiful little fountain in this little courtyard. And Erin was like, you gotta go get the carbonara. It's very good. And so I'm like, okay, great. So we go to this place. They get us settled. They bring us Prosecco.
Yeah, they were like, everybody must cheers. This is how we start our meals here.
And I was like, sign me up. Never living another way ever. So that was amazing. And then we ordered, and what I loved was, like, she ordered the carbonara, because, like, a lot of times we would get different stuff, and then we would swap and share.
Yeah, we would just share.
We share all the things. So I ordered something, and he just brought me ravioli instead.
Yeah, sometimes, like, if you order something that they don't think is going to be good, they just bring you something else.
I was fine with it. I love ravioli.
It was good.
I will say Chef Boyardee ain't got shit on real ravioli.
Different world.
American food is trash. So we're having this amazing meal. We're sitting here, we're talking, and this is where I meet limoncello.
There's a video of it. Here you are, meeting it.
So not only in this video do I have a limoncello spritzer, I have a shot of limoncello. So he brings us this cute little decanter of limoncello, and she had one shot, your girl drank the rest. And what I loved about it, it was super refreshing. It wasn't heavy. It wasn't overly sweet. No. I want to bathe in it. I never want to drink Jack Honey ever again. What? No. If Jack Honey died, I'm fine, because I just need to find the perfect recipe for I'm going to make it myself. Put that on the bucket list.
All right. That was the end of that day.
So it was day 2.
The next morning, we
just went out. So the next morning, we left the house, and we were like, we're just going to walk in a different direction, because when we come out of our door, we've been walking this way, And we decided to walk that way. So day 3 was the castle.
This was first, though.
So
this
they
is
have
the
all
Palazzo.
these. So here's the cool thing. They have all these.
Piazza Navona.
Yep.
It says it on the Why haven't we been opening the pictures?
It's
says what
iPhone
it is.
for the win, okay?
Piazza Navona.
So in these piazzas and in these little corners, they have all these obelisks that have been brought from freaking Egypt, yo. Like, I am telling you, these things have straight up hieroglyphics on them. Was not expecting that. But what we learned while we were at the Vatican was that St. Helen, or whoever she was married to so-and-so, she went out on these excursions and she brought stuff back as they were conquering these people. So there's a bunch of stuff from different parts of the world in the city. So in this piazza, there's these 2 huge, beautiful, breathtaking fountains, and we found another basilica.
Yes, it was the Parione. Rome-Parione. I don't know.
I'm sure you're pronouncing that wrong.
I'm sure I'm pronouncing all of it wrong. Here's the beautiful fountain. The fountains were amazing. Like, look at this guy on this horse.
And what's mind-blowing, you guys, is that these were freaking carved by hand.
Yeah.
Like, some young buck was carving this on a Tuesday.
It's amazing to think about that because it's like the time. Like, you wonder how long did it take to carve this? This is like a cherubim with a cape.
And that's what's amazing about this art, you guys, is that it's made out of bloody marble. And in this specific church, there were like 3 to 4 different kinds of marble. There was the green one, the pink one, the regular marble. And looking at this art, we are talking about the folds of the fabric in the wind, the veins on their forearms and on their legs, the bags under their curls of their hair, the detail.
It was breathtaking. Every place we went in. And then next, we got our fruit slushies.
We did, because the fruit slushies, what we learned on day 1 was that the fruit slushies are important.
And then we found
Is that when you found a Viagra gelato?
Yes, Viagra gelato.
So we go in to get these fruit smoothies, and it's at a gelato place. And so we're in this gelato place and we're looking. We hadn't had gelato yet. We saved that for like our last day, which was wild. But we're getting our fruit smoothies. We're waiting for the guy to pour them and whatever. And I looked down and I was like, does that say Viagra?
It was bright
gelato?
blue too. It was the color of Viagra.
And I was like, I bet that's their bestseller just because of the name.
For sure.
All right.
And then we went walking and we found the Castle St. Angelo.
Oh, St. Angelo.
Yes. The castle was amazing.
The castle was freaking huge. Huge. So,
plus when you go to the top, you get to go all the way to the top of the castle and you can see the whole city. It is
thing.
the most amazing view.
That's when we saw the Supreme Court.
Yes.
Which was also stunning.
I was like, that looks like a court. It's their Supreme Court.
She's like, that's a government building. I looked it up. I was like, Supreme Court. That's their Supreme Court.
Yeah, so I have a million pictures from inside the castle.
So in the castle, on the castle, we're going through these. They had a really cool exhibit about, was it Pope Francis? The Pope? No, it was the one before him.
They had a lot of popes, but I know the one you're talking of, Pope John.
Okay.
Pope John, everybody loved
from
that
like
one.
the
Pope
90s,
John
the
Paul.
80s and 90s.
Yeah.
That's not my area. So all of this beautiful art, and we paid like $20 to get in. It was less than $20 to get in, each person. There were extra stuff you could do, again, book ahead, blah, blah, blah. But like, this was a very satisfying self-tour. We didn't have any like audio things. I'm sure we could have gotten them, but we just showed up.
It was kind of fun to just like...
We did.
Just roll.
We did. And I remember, so like we got all the way to the top and we get into these rooms that used to be like the barracks that they've turned into museums. So all of these, because the buildings are so old, there's no regular AC. So there's mini splits all over, right? So Trisha comes around the corner and I'm standing there kind of like hanging with my dress over the mini split because it was hot.
It was hot. It was hot that day.
I mean, we were literally dripping everywhere but it wasn't that bad. I feel like it wasn't awful. So long as you stay hydrated and if you feel peckish, you can pop into any little restaurant.
Yeah, every place we went to had some sort of cafe. Like, even the museums, the basilica.
This
like
one the castle had a cafe.
The castle had a cafe. You could get food. You could get drinks.
So this castle is on the other side of the Tiber River from where we were staying. So we go across this beautiful bridge. This you go through the Rappaport or whatever it's called, and you're in this castle, and you go up this spiral to get to the top, and you're in all of these rooms with all of this beautiful ancient art, and they had like the bedroom set up. That was really cool. And you're seeing, so like at first,
oh yeah, it's right on here, the bed.
Yeah. So like at first you're seeing and you're looking, and there's all these holes like at the Colosseum and at this castle, and what we learned later was that those were the anchors for the marble that used to be on the wall.
Yeah, when Rome got sacked and they stole all the marble, they left like these indentations and everything.
Right. And it was just so
I can
cool.
only imagine what it looked like with all the marble. It had to have been insane.
That's what
it's
love.
Beautiful now without it. I can only imagine like with it.
Well, that's the beauty of like AI and like all these AI video. Like when I was doing Sunday school and we were talking about the Temple of Solomon, like I pulled it up and it like did like a virtual tour. So that was the castle. So then we were on the river and we were hungry. This was the best pizza. Yeah. So first of all, look out for Pedro. Because Pedro is this guy standing by the bridge trying to get people to come on the boat, right? So he's like, oh, yeah, it's a tour. First of all, the guy didn't look like a Pedro. He hooks us up. He's like, oh, yeah, you get on the boat. And it was a hot day. So I was like, man, if we get on the boat, we'll be able to sit and we'll be able to see.
And they give you this map. So it makes it look like the boat is going to take you by all of the major things, like the Colosseum.
We thought it was a tour boat, and it freaking wasn't. It was just a boat ride from here to there. It was a ferry, so to speak.
It was literally, you're just on a boat and it goes down the river and then back the other way. You see nothing. You see absolutely nothing.
We saw the top. Remember that one church? You were like, we've never seen this. I was like, yeah, we saw the top when we were on the boat. So whatever you do, when you are down there, get the mushroom pizza from the place. Don't get on the boat. If some guy
Unless you have
Pedro,
realistic expectations that you're just going up and down this river for 15 minutes.
If you just need a nice sit, get on the boat.
Yeah. It was a sit.
But then at the very last stop,
Campo Marzio.
Before
That's on the boat.
That's the river.
Yeah.
So before we got to our stop, where we were getting off, we were very excited to get off the stupid boat. All of these other tourists, like from France, came on. They were speaking French.
Yeah.
And
they were rude.
They just come from a different culture than we do.
Mm-hmm.
So they pile on. And Trisha and I are minding our business. Like, we are not taking up more space than we need to. There were times when we were like, we're American. Here's my bag. Here's my stuff. But, like, we were confined to our space, minding our own business. So all these people flood on. And since we were sitting on the benches, these people did not say, excuse me, did not say, do you mind? They said nothing to us. This lady is leaning over me with her sweaty armpits in my face to get a picture. Rather than saying, excusez-moi. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like, get me off the boat. Get me off the boat.
So we got off the boat, and then we went and took showers and went out and got... We did. I told her, I was like, we went
listen.
back to Tavern and got
I was like, I've been thinking about that carbonara all day long, and I want some more limoncello, and our waiter was amazing.
He was super fun.
So we went back and we closed them down, you guys. We shut them down.
We went back and seen Piazza Navona in the dark, which was really cool because it's all lit up. All your fountains are lit up.
And we're walking in the dark, down alleys to a place we've only been once.
Yeah, it says 1207.
And never once did I like look over my shoulder or be like,
no,
what do you
felt safe.
It was super safe. Absolutely.
Actually, we forgot our stuff at the restaurant, our bag of tchotchkes, and the waiter or busboy came and chased us down with it. Joelle
chased us down, and then I was like, well, because we were having a conversation, and we were
having a conversation.
And it was supposed to be a private conversation about the experience we just had And I was like, well, he heard all of that. We can't go back now.
So that was that for that day. And we went back to the Airbnb and we started the next day with more cappuccino.
Yeah, we did.
And what is this?
Oh, this was the day we stumbled into the Jewish ghetto.
Oh, yes!
Yep. So this was on Trisha's list to see, and it was perfect because, again, we left the house and we were like, we're just going to walk in this direction because we haven't walked in this direction yet. And as we're going along, we're seeing these things. Oh, it's cute. And then we start seeing a lot of Hebrew on the wall. And then we come out of this alley and boop, here we are. Right in the middle of everything.
Which was on our list to do, but we didn't actually
God
know how to get
so
there.
good to us, you guys. He was so good in our wanderings.
So we found the Jewish ghetto, and we had water, and we had brunch. And
there was pizza. Oh, the pizza was so good. So the mushroom pizza we had the day before, different ball game. This one was from a Jewish restaurant, so like everything's kosher, everything's, done properly. So on this pizza, it was the pizza, then it was the sauce, and then it was eggplants. It was eggplants, tomato, and
red
zucchini.
pepper.
Eggplants, red pepper, and zucchini. And it was so good.
And there was a guy playing the violin at the same time.
That was
I got
cool.
a little bit of video of him too. Yeah, he was awesome. There he is. He's playing the violin.
And then there were more rude people.
There was very rude.
But they didn't pull us into their shenanigans, so we didn't have to worry.
They were
about
also French.
Were they? They were.
Yes, they were. Yes, they were. Because we were talking about how it was the same as the day before on the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we started walking again.
We love our French listeners, by the way.
We do.
It was just momentary culture clash.
It just happened. Then we found some more ruins when we went walking. We found the Temple of Hercules. And then
we found the theater.
And then we went and we seen people lining up and we found the Mouth of Truth.
Yeah. That was cool.
That was fun.
It's just this big piece of art. It's just a face.
It's a face. And you put your hand in the mouth, and if you're a liar, it crushes your fingers. But our fingers did not get crushed.
Is that the history of it?
Uh-huh.
I was wondering the significance, so...
Yeah.
And
then there
was... we walk in righteousness and truth!
Yes.
Always.
The Mouth of Truth told us that.
Yes.
So we were good to go on that, and then after that, you went into another basilica. There's a skull.
Yeah, so here's the thing. When these people are dead, and they put them in these monuments, usually they'll take, I don't know if that's the skull. So they'll take the skull and put it in this beautiful box where you can see it, and they'll put flowers in there with it.
There was also the crypt that we got to walk in.
That was cool.
At this one. So
this
we actually
one was
got
more...
to walk down underneath.
Yeah, this one was more crypty, for sure.
Yeah, so this is the Santa Maria in Cosmedian Church.
Cosmedian. For someone who took 1,700 years of Latin.
Cosmedian is written in English, not Latin, and I don't think that it's a Latin word. But this is kind of cool because this has a crown that's made like the crown of thorns for Jesus.
Yeah, because what we learned at the Capuchin crypt was that these monks would like self-punish, right? So they would flog themselves, and then they would put on these crowns of metal thorns, and they would put them on their head to identify with Jesus' suffering. It's really beautiful. All the statues of Medusa, I took her picture everywhere. She is my girl. I love her.
Yeah, and then we went in another museum. Roman Forum.
Yes.
Roman Forum.
Yep.
Capitoline Hill. Okay, Roman Forum. Okay, so this was another big museum we went in.
So we walked out, and we got to this museum, and they were like, there's only an hour and a half left. And I was like, take my money. We can go. And we walked through, and we saw so much amazing things. Just absolutely stunning pieces of art, frescoes, just jewels, pieces, artifacts from these people's lives. We saw the statue of Remus and Romulus, which was so cool to me. That was definitely one that kind of took my breath away. And if you've never seen it, you might be thinking, oh, it's a statue of two infants, being fed by a dog, drinking milk from a dog. But the history of the city starts with that. And what's cool is all through school, I've seen this statue in every single one of my history books when we learn about ancient Rome. And here I am in front of it. I'm in front of this statue. It was
that
so
was a
cool.
big part of Rome, is like being in all these places that you see in books.
Yeah.
Or you see in movies. Like, right before we went to this, we did drop by Circus Maximus.
Oh,
where they did all the chariot racing.
Oh, that's where we met the other Andrew.
Yes.
So we go to Circus Maximus. That's where they did all of the racing, like she just said, and all of the games. And she schooled me up on like burying artifacts in the dust. And we were hot, we were hungry, we were thirsty, and it looked like it was getting ready to rain. So we popped into this little like pub, like bistro thing.
Like bar.
It was a bar. It was a bar, and the bartender's from freaking Seattle. What? So we had a great time talking with someone from the States. He moved over there and built his life there, and he made the absolute, like, bestest whiskey sour. And I got my panini.
Yes. Yep. And then we went to the Roman Forum and the Basilica of Santa Maria, and we've seen all of the art.
What's that
so much
picture
art.
of? That was at the Scholars Pub.
Oh, and then on the way home, we stopped at the Scholars Pub for Uncle Gardner.
Yeah, my dad, super Irish guy, and he was like, "Oh, have you guys found a good pub you like?" I was like, "Actually, it was the Scholars Library."
Okay.
And so we passed it a couple times in our wanderings, and I told her, I was like, "Oh, I just want to pop in there." Like, because who goes to Rome to go into an Irish pub, right?
Yeah.
But it was such a cool atmosphere.
It was a fun
Service
vibe.
sucked.
Yeah, service
Sucked. Pop in, if you're there, pop in for a drink. We each had a couple drinks, and then we left for food.
Yeah. Yep, it was all right. And that was it for that day. And then the next day, we did the Vatican.
Okay, you guys. So we could probably do a whole episode on the Vatican.
The Vatican was literally life-changing.
Yep.
Like, I never expected to have, like, such an emotional and
Response.
spiritual and just life-changing experience as when we walked into St. Peter's Basilica. And we almost didn't go to St. Peter's Basilica. So we booked a private tour.
So start here.
Yeah.
Book a
worth
private
the money.
tour.
Worth the money.
So go through Eternity Tours.
Through Eternity Tours.
And if you are able to request Gracelyn, I forget her last name.
Gracelyn.
We'll put all these things in the show notes too.
She was amazing.
Gracelyn was effing phenomenal.
She was the mafia of tour guides. Like, people would be like, "You can't go there," and she'd be like, "Yes, we can."
Yeah.
We went all the places. Even when the
Absolutely.
guards told us no, she's like, "Yes, we can." And she just like flashed some badge that says, "I'm the coolest tour guide in the
She
world."
did. And what I loved about her tour was
Other tours got out of the way.
Yes, for our girl Gracelyn. So we meet up with her at the meeting place at the cafe. We had breakfast at the Vatican Cafe. If you go there, you want the avocado toast.
Avocado
with
toast.
eggs.
It was delicious.
Oh my god, it was so good. I bought some avocados yesterday because I think I figured out what they put in there.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So anyways, so you get your ice cap and your egg avocado toast. And then we met her outside, and I wasn't thinking that the tour was going to be like us and maybe like 4 or 5 other people. It was us.
It was just us three.
How about that?
We were
VIP status,
VIP.
baby. That was the one thing that we did splurge on. The tickets were over $200 a person. Worth every penny, because here's what happened. She got a hold of us. She's from New York, so that was cool. So we learned a little bit about each other. And then I was like, "Are we waiting for anybody else?" She's like, "No, you're it." And I was like, "Yes." So we get in line.
skip all the lines. Skip all the waits.
We did.
Skip all the
We
waits.
did have to wait a little bit to get in, but not really.
We were early for our time.
Because here's the thing, there's 2 separate entrances. There's one entrance for people who have tours, and there's one entrance for people just showing up. Do not just show up to the Vatican.
Just show up. You won't see it.
You will never see it. You won't. Because you have to wait for spaces to open.
Yeah.
She's like, there are people who literally wait all day long and never get in. So, book your freaking tour with Gracelyn through Eternity Tours.
Yeah. So then we went through the entire Vatican Museum. We went through St. Peter's Square.
We saw most of the Vatican Museum. And what I loved was that as we're standing in line, she's already talking to us, bringing us through history. And what's cool about being a tour guide in Rome is, like, you have to go through licensing, like what we did to get into real estate, but it's a little bit more rigorous. I feel like you have to take tests, you have to know history, you have to know dates, you have to know art, you have to know food, you have to know popes. You have to know all of this stuff.
She had a few degrees that she talked about, and it went really well. Like,
and she, like I said, we're standing in line. Zero time was wasted. She's pulling us through time. Yeah. She's telling us about Rome. She's telling us about the wall. She's telling us about everything. Okay.
Yeah, it was amazing. So went through St. Peter's Square, went through the...
Is that my head?
We got to go... Yeah, that's your head. Then we got to go underneath into the crypt where all the popes are laid.
Oh my gosh.
So you got to see all of the resting places of all of the popes. And then she took us in the Sistine Chapel. You are not allowed to take photos in the Sistine Chapel. That is when we got to stand right in the front. Like, you weren't even supposed to be standing there. They were like, you gotta go to the back. And she's like, no. And we got to stand right in the front and, like, look at the Sistine Chapel. And it was...
It was stunning, you guys.
It was amazing. And having her, like, teach us, the stories...
Of, each of the pieces.
Yeah. It was just...
Because on one side...
much more.
Because what she told us was on one side is... So what the artist was trying to do was bring the Old and the New Testament together. So on one side you have Moses, and on the other side you have Jesus.
Yeah, and it was really cool.
And then you have, on the ceiling, there's pockets for the apostles, the prophets, and then there's Jesus.
And here's the thing, if you don't have a Graceland, you don't know that. You just go and you're like, okay, this is cool, it's art.
She gave us a cheat sheet because you can't talk in there either.
Yeah, you also can't talk, you cannot take photos. So we went through that.
We heard the bell came on several times, and we were only in there... You're only allowed to be in there for 15 minutes at a time.
Yeah, because they're running people through.
Yeah, and so the bell goes off and they're like, shut the F up in several languages. No talking. It was humbling. It was so humbling.
And then we had to decide if we wanted to go to St. Peter's Basilica or if we wanted to spend more time.
In the Vatican.
Vatican. And I was like, you know what? I want to do St. Peter.
Yeah, we both agreed on that for sure.
And it was the best decision we ever made.
If you don't see the Vatican and you don't see Sistine Chapel... Go in here.
Go into St. Peter's Basilica. It was my very favorite part of Rome.
Yep, mine too.
I literally, I'm not a big crier or emotional person.
She got misty-eyed, I cried.
Yeah, I wanted to sob. Had I been, by myself in an empty St. Peter's...
She would have sat in a corner and just looked and sobbed.
Literally hit my knees and sobbed. It was just amazing. It was. And it was the year of Jubilee. So every
This was the coolest part!
Yes.
So every 25 years?
Every 25 years.
So what we got to do was, there's this special door in the church.
The Holy Door.
The Holy Door. And so we were able to kind of come out. They had a little corral line, a queue line. And so they come out and you walk through this door. So at the end of this year of Jubilee, and that was the other cool thing, was seeing all the pilgrims. But at the end of this year, they cement it closed.
And we got to do something that is really once in a lifetime.
Yeah, truly once in a lifetime, because they cement it closed. They're not opening it again until we go back in 2050.
So that was amazing. Had some food. Jumped on our Monday motivation call.
We did!
Because we're realtors and we're elite, and so we still...
And that's the cool thing about this business was we have such an amazing team at Elite Realty to where when things were going sideways with your deal, we had people to lean on. We were
closing deals in
Absolutely.
Rome.
I booked a buyer consultation. It was perfect.
I had 2 closings. I booked a buy-sell when I got back, too. Yeah, we didn't miss a beat. We came back in. I got 4 listings going up immediately. It was good. So we went back. We took some showers.
We walked back. And the walk back was not... It was great.
Yeah,
it was a
we
great
did
walk back.
I forgot we walked back.
We did.
Yeah.
I talked to everyone.
I took some photos. I got some photos of some flowers and some different monuments. Oh, that's when you bartered for a suitcase, so you can barter.
I did. So backing up a little bit, we get to the airport, and your girl's bag is just a little heavy.
Oops.
Well, this hooker right here told me options. So I packed every living thing every freaking thing that I own. And I wore the same 2 pairs of shoes. I was thankful for all the different breezy outfits, though. Yeah. So I was on the way home, we're going to need, because the lady told us, she was like, I can let you skate out of Detroit, but coming back, they're going to hit you. So we go, I was like, oh shit, we need to carry on. So we go into this luggage place. I was like, let's pop in here. And so I was like, he tried to sell me this one. And he was like, 120. I'm like, no. He's like, cheaper? I said, cheaper. So he's like, this one I give you 90. I'm like, no. So he brings me to this one. He's like, this one is $60. I said, I'll give you 30. He goes, 35 cash? I said, 35 cash.
And we got it for $35.
And she looked it up after we left to make sure I did actually get a deal, and I did actually get a deal. I was like, you text Andy right now, and you tell him that I negotiated.
You get what you negotiate.
For a new... So I was able to have this bag to make sure that all my shit came to
And everything came back, and we did not get charged extra. So we got our bag, we took a shower, and then we were like, okay, let's go do Spanish Steps. So we went
got
through the
gelato.
shopping distance. We got gelato. We went through the shopping district, seen
That
all the
was
fancy
cool.
stores.
That was so cool.
Seen another fountain. Walked up the Spanish Steps. At the top, there was another church.
Open the picture of the church so that it'll tell us what it is.
It was...
Not that one. It's not telling her.
Why isn't it telling
It was this gorgeous church at the top of the Spanish Steps, okay?
Trinidad de Monte. That's
I'll
us.
throw these photos in.
Up at the top. That's my niece Addie. Okay. So then we went and got food. Oh, and then we closed up the night. I seen on TikTok that if you went to this one piazza, they did like a big party. So
like a sing together.
Yeah, so we went to
So that was on the river.
Trastevere. So we went there. That's the party place.
So
if you
here's
want
the
to find
thing.
the party place, that's where you go.
Hold on. What happened was, while we were on the stupid boat, what we did learn was they had river walk.
Yes.
So they had all these restaurants, these little arcades, they had like karaoke, they had all these cool things. So that's what we did.
Yes.
So we went to the little piazza. We saw the acrobats and all of that. I was upset because the guy touched me. There was like a statue guy. I don't know what he was covered in.
It's covered in something that's white.
It reminded me, legit, you guys, of butt paste. Bordeaux's butt paste is what it looked like So I gave him like a coin, because you give the street performers a coin. And when he took it from me, he touched my hand, which was fine, but then his residue was on my hand. So then we go down the steps, and we are eating dinner on the Tiber River, and Trisha got saucy.
First, you got a little angry because she didn't want the guy to take our food away to wrap it up. Then the guy got mad.
So hold on. So we found this amazing Mediterranean food place.
Yeah,
and at first I was like, I don't want to eat this, but I was so glad I did. The baba was amazing.
Grape leaves were delicious.
Grape leaves were good.
Yeah,
the shawarma was
good.
top notch. But they brought us a shit ton of food, you guys.
Yeah, we had so much food. We shouldn't have even taken it back because we never. Okay, so here's the other thing. Like, we kept taking things to go that we didn't finish, and then we never ate any of them. So like, don't even bother taking your food back because you want to go find new food the next day.
Because we did have that one midnight snack. We ate your leftover pasta, and I wish we would have eaten the Mediterranean food.
Yeah.
So
we
anyways,
were tired.
We were exhausted.
So that was our last day, and that was super, super fun. And then we wrapped, and that was that. We're at an hour.
Yeah.
That was an hour of exploring Rome with us, friends.
Thank you for coming along. This was, I will tell you, as someone who was super nervous about leaving the country, period, as someone who was dreading the flight and really not sure what to expect, like, honestly, I have to encourage you guys to, if you don't go to Rome, like, pick somewhere, make a plan, save the money, and freaking go.
Yeah.
You will not regret it. You might regret the plane ride. You might regret having too much limoncello. Just kidding. You will never regret that. But one thing, I am coming into this space of creating a life and living my life in a way to where at the end of the road, like, I'm ready for that, well done, my good and faithful servant. And I'm not laying on my deathbed wishing I would have done XYZ, wishing I would have said XYZ, wishing I would have talked to or done something different. This was an absolute life-changing event, and it was not hard to do. It was not expensive, and I have to encourage you guys, like, if this is something on your heart, even if it's not, go. Just go. So that's what we got for you this week. Thank you so much. God, we were turning into the same person. I love you all. I'm so glad that you joined us. And you got to hit that sub button. Like, we're nothing without you. So hit the sub button, share with a friend, invite someone to subscribe to the show wherever you're listening. And come back next week because we're going to have another episode of the Elite Life Podcast.
Bye!
Thank you for joining us today on the Elite Life Podcast with Trisha and Kylee. Don't forget to share this episode with a friend so we can keep delivering you more fantastic insights on grit, grace, and growth. Stay connected with us on Instagram and Facebook, where we'll keep the ideas flowing to help you build a life you love and leave a legacy you can be proud of. Until next time.